Welcome to Diamond Field for Game 2 of this series, a big series between the Pacelli Vikings and the Brookstone Cougars. This is a GIAA Division or District 5 matchup between the defending state champions and a team that would like to make a run at it. Hi, I'm Dave Plato, along with producer Tulligar Isla. We'll bring you all the action here from Diamond Field as we get a pretty good day for baseball, despite the weather. The weather right now, it's 55 degrees. There's a strong wind right now, west-northwest, 17 miles an hour, gust to 29. And here at Diamond Field, that means it's going to be blowing out to the gap in left center field. Anybody putting one up in the jet stream, well, it could get kind of interesting. All right, let's take a look at the starting lineup here for Brookstone. Leading off for the Cougars will be number 7, Mercer Hudson, the first baseman. Batting second will be pitcher Brennan Neal. Maxwell Jones, the center fielder, will be batting third. Cleanup, Luke Lowry, the right fielder, with Charles Briscoe batting 5th. He's the third baseman. Will Turner will be at second, batting 6th, with Gray Jones behind the plate, batting 7th. Ben Ivy is the designated hitter. He'll be hitting for shortstop Mitchum Kelly, with Chan-Woo Kim out there in left field, batting 9th. As for the Pacelli Vikings, here is a look at their defense, how their defense will set up for the day. Left field will be Austin Dannison with Nolan Vaughn in center, Merrick Miller in right. The infield, third to first, you got Connor Zitrauer, Jacob Vilos, Cam Carino, and Dustin Sherman. Behind the plate will be Braden Hudson, and on the mound, Billy Smith, the junior, will get the start for the Vikings. Now, Smith has had a pretty interesting season so far. He can bring it, that is for sure. He's pitched 4 ball games. He's got a record of 3-0 with a 3.85 earned run average. Now, he's pitched 20 innings, given up 15 hits. He's got 28 strikeouts in those 20 innings, walked 14. Opposing hitters have a batting average of 195 against him, but he also has tossed 13 wild pitches. He can bring it for sure, but it gets a little interesting where it's going to go. Smith has had cheeky starts in each of his starts and then settled down and pitched brilliantly after that. So we'll see where things go here in this key matchup. Now, Brookstone and Pacelli met on Tuesday. Brookstone a winner in that one by a score of 5-0. Chan-Woo Kim threw 4 hitters through 6 innings to pick up the victory, struck out 8, with Brennan Neal, today's starter, coming in to close things out. Neal's been their closer all season long. We'll get to that when we get to the bottom of this inning. So Billy Smith, he's got some steam on that fastball, some good breaking stuff as well. The junior counted on to be one of the bellwethers for the Pacelli pitching staff. And we will see how things go. As I mentioned, it's a really, really breezy day out here. A little bit cool at 55 degrees, a strong wind knocking the wind chill down into the 40s. It doesn't quite feel like that when the sun is out, but when the sun goes down, I'm guessing it's going to get a real chilly out here at Diamond Field. Anyway, the Pacelli off to a 7-7 start this season. Brookstone is 9-2 so far on the year. As I mentioned, Tuesday's game was a district opener for both ball clubs. All right, Braden Hudson fires it down to second base, third around the infield. We're going to get things ready. By the way, our umpires for this ball game, Paul Kite is behind the plate, with Peyton Ziegler making the calls on the bases. Leading things off for Brookstone is Mercer Hudson, the senior first baseman. Hudson hitting .294 this season with 2 home runs and 7 runs batted in on the year. Scored 14 runs, which is a tie for the team lead. So here we go. First pitch here this afternoon at Diamond Field. Billy Smith looking in, the sign, the windup, and the pitch. Fastball, strike 1. So, good start for Billy Smith over the plate with that first pitch. Here's the wind of the 0-1 delivery. A little bit outside, ball 1. As I mentioned, Hudson Dangerous, the leadoff hitter. He's got 2 home runs this season. All right, 1-1 pitch. A swing grounded toward third. It is foul. A chopper scooped up by Connor Zitrauer. Tosses it back to Smith as we get ready to line it up again. 1-2 count now. 1-2 count now on Mercer Hudson. Smith set to go. And the 1-2 delivery. Hudson fouling it off to the left side. Will it stay in play? It does, and it's Braden Hudson. Huddy hauling it in for the first out. So the foul out as things get started. Billy Smith settling down and getting the first hitter on a foul out. That brings up pitcher Brennan Neal. Neal is hitting .400 this season with 8 runs batted in. He's got 4 doubles and a triple. Scored 14 runs. He's also dangerous on the bases with 14 steals. Smith settling in. The first pitch to Brennan Neal. Little breaking ball, a little bit outside. Ball 1. He didn't like that one, so swapping balls out as plate umpire Paul Kite tosses that one out of play. For what it's worth, in the first game on Tuesday, Neal was 1 for 3, scored a couple of runs, he had an RBI, hit a triple on that. All right, 1-0 pitch to Neal. Outside, ball 2. Smith being cautious with Neal, who's one of the top players in the state. 2-0 pitch. Catches the corner, strike 1. Nicely done, painted the corner with that one. So 2-1 count now on Cougar pitcher Brennan Neal, the number 2 hitter in the lineup. 2-1 pitch, outside in the dirt, 3-1. Sun's gone behind the clouds. Now the wind is a little bit chillier. Smith winds and delivers the 3-1. Catches a corner, strike 2. Trying to keep it out of Neal's wheelhouse. So the count is full here. 1 out in the top of the first inning. Smith nods, winds, delivers. Ground ball to third, chopper. Connor Zitrar scoops it up over to first, and that's out number 2. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the first inning. And that brings up Maxwell Jones for the Brookstone Cougars.
Now batting number 4, Maxwell Jones.
Jones is off to a tough start this season. He's hitting just .111. He's got 3 runs batted in, but 2 of his 3 hits are doubles. He's also been hit by 7 pitches, so he's gotten on base any way you can. Smith winds, and here's the first pitch. Jones takes it high, ball 1. Smith so far this season's had problems in first inning, but so far he is cruising along. Here is your 1-0 pitch. Catches the outside corner, strike 1. 1-1 count on Maxwell Jones, the center fielder for the Cougars. Here's that 1-1 pitch. Outside, ball 2. Brookstone coach Greg Mathis is the third base coach with Nate McConnell, the first base coach. 2-1 pitch outside, so it's a 3-1 count now on Maxwell Jones. Nobody on, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning of the scoreless contest between Pacelli and Brookstone. Here's the delivery. Ground ball to third. Zitrar, it handcuffs him, bounces into the stands. And that means Jones will be awarded second base on the error. So with 2 outs, fielding miscue by Connor Zitrar, puts a runner in scoring position. Bringing up cleanup hitter Luke Lowry. Lowry hitting .375 on the season with 11 runs batted in. He has 1 double, scored 9 runs. In the first game on Tuesday, Lowry was 1 for 2, but drove in 2 runs. Braden Hudson with the quick confab there with Billy Smith. Setting things back up, trying to get out of this without any damage. So we have a runner in second with 2 outs in the top of the first inning in this scoreless game. Paul Kite says, let's go. Smith goes into set position. And the first pitch to Lowry. Ground ball right up the middle. Cam Carino knocks it down, throws to first late. That's going to be a base hit up the middle. And that allows Jones to advance to third. So now we have runners on the corners with 2 out. The Cougars trying to put together some kind of 2-out rally here in the top of the first inning.
Charles Briscoe.
Charles Briscoe, the third baseman, coming to the plate. fifth hitter in the inning. Briscoe coming into the game hitting .321 with 10 runs batted in, and he scored 6 runs on the year. Smith checks the runners, comes set. First pitch to Briscoe. A little bit high and outside, ball 1. Smith retired the first 2 hitters in this inning, a foul pop and a ground out. But a tough grounder to third, handcuffing third baseman Connor Zitrower, and then an infield hit. So we got runners in the corners. Cougars trying to put something together here. 1-0 pitch. Smith steps off the plate. The runner breaks for second. They're trying to see if they can get it out with allowing the run to score. Everybody scrambles back. Lowry broke for second. At the same time that Billy Smith stepped off the mound. Smith went at him, tried to force him to go one way or the other, but totally cognizant of the fact that Maxwell Jones leading off third. If he gets in some sort of rundown, it's going to allow the run to score. This expects it to be a pitcher's duel, so every single run's going to count on this one. So status quo, everybody goes back. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss from Briscoe. Evens the count at 1-1. Everybody's going to play this one cautious. Brennan Neal is probably Brookstone's best pitcher, the closer, who's getting a rare start. Smith, who's been solid all season long. Smith in the stretch, and here comes the, no, not 1-1 pitch. Paul Kite calls timeout. Nobody resets, and we'll get back to it. Runners in the corners, 2 outs. 1-1 count on Charles Briscoe. Billy Smith comes set. Steps off the mound again, freaks toward third. Again, the runner raking toward second, flipping it to the shortstop, Velos. Runner breaks for home, the throw home, and they gun him. Jacob Velos' throw beats Maxwell Jones, applying the tag as Braden Hudson, and that is the out, third out to end the inning. So in the inning, there are no runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 1 runner left on base. After 1/2 inning, no score here at Diamond Field. You're watching Pacelli Baseball on Georgia-Alabama Sports Live. All right, back here for the bottom of the first inning. Pacelli and Brookstone going at it. Let's take a look at Pacelli's lineup. Leading things off for the Vikings with Jared Gamilia, the designated hitter. Merrick Miller, right fielder, hitting second. Connor Zitrower, third, batting third. With Braden Hudson behind the plate, hitting cleanup. Dustin Sherman at first, bats fifth. With Cam Carino, the second baseman, batting sixth. Austin Dannison, the left, batting seventh. Jacob Velos at short, bats eighth. With Nolan Vaughn, the left fielder, batting ninth. And Jared Gamilia stepping into the batter's box, DHing today. He's regularly the second baseman. Jared so far on the season is hitting .256 with 1 home run and 4 runs batted in. On the mound, Brennan Neal bringing the first pitch, fastball outside, just a little bit outside, ball 1. Neal on the season's pitched 6 games, all in relief. He's getting his first start of the year, and he has been effective, has not given up an earned run all year. Next pitch fouled off behind the plate by Gyron, back toward the church. So strike 1. Neal so far has pitched, 10 innings pitched, given up just 6 hits, struck out 15 batters. On base, the opponent batting average against was 171. Curveball a little bit outside, 2-1. Neal with 1 save on the season. Looking into Gray Jones, gets the sign, goes into the windup, and here is the pitch. Gyron grounded up the middle, hits the rubber, takes a big hop, and Gyron beats it out. The shortstop, Mitchum Kelly, could not get him. So an infield hit for Gyron Camellia. That would have gone straight through, but it hit the mound, bounced off the rubber, took a big hop. Was the only reason the shortstop was able to grab it. But Gyron with his speed is easily safe. So a single to start off the top of the first, or bottom of the first inning. That brings up Merrick Miller, the right fielder. Miller hitting .320 with a team-leading 10 runs batted in. First pitch, foul. The bunt fouled into the screen, strike 1. Gyron a threat to steal. He's got 2 stolen bases on the year. And good speed, which is why he's hitting leadoff. Neal looks over. They want to try to keep Gyron as close as they can. Throw over to first. He slides in easily. As I mentioned, Miller with the leads the team, a tie for the team lead with 10 runs batted in. Pitch to Miller, up, ball 1. So 1-1 count on Merrick Miller. By the way, Miller, his on-base percentage also leads the team, .541. He's been good at getting on base, good at getting him over, getting him on, getting him in. 1-1 pitch. Miller fouls it off. Hits a tree right by one of the windows of the church. So the count now 1-2. Vikings looking to get a little first inning thunder going here. 1-2 pitch. Swing and miss, strike 3. So that's the first out of the inning as Miller goes down on strikes. And that brings up third baseman Connor Zitrower, who has been team hitter, leads the team in most batting categories. Zitrower coming into the ball game hitting .436 with 2 home runs, 10 runs batted in, 17 hits, best on the squad. He's also got 3 doubles. First pitch to Zitrower, fouled off into the screen, strike 1. Breaking ball. Vikings trying to get a leadoff, make a leadoff single and turn it into something here. Zitrower looking down to head coach and third base coach Casey Rasmus for signs. Steps into the batter's box. Here we go. 0-1 pitch. Grounded sharply into the screen on the left side toward the dugout, toward the Brookstone dugout. So it's strike 2. Zitrower definitely a threat here. Neal swapping out baseballs with plate umpire Paul Kite. So the Vikings runner on first, 1 out here. Team's leading hitter Connor Zitrower with an 0-2 count. Here's that pitch. Camellia breaks for second, slides in easily with the stolen base. Wasn't even close. But strike 3 on that. Zitrower strikes out. We have a runner in second now with 2 outs, runner in scoring position for cleanup hitter Braden Hudson. Hudson hitting
number 2, Braden Hudson.
Hudson hitting .222 on the season with 1 triple and 7 runs batted in. He scored 15 runs, leads the team, or excuse me, I'm sorry, he scored 7 runs. And time is called. Gray Jones trotting out to talk to Brennan Neal. Good opportunity for the Vikings here with 2 outs and a fast runner on second base. Any kind of hit should mean a run. Here in this scoreless contest here in the bottom of the first inning. Big ball game here. Big District 5 battle between arch rivals. Brennan Neal's first pitch to Braden Hudson. Hudson sharply fouls it off to the right side for strike one. Good contact on that one. Jaron Gamelia dancing a little bit off second base. They're trying to hold him as close as they can. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fastball outside, taken for ball one. So 1-1 count. Neal comes set. 1-1 pitch. Fouled off to the right side. Out of play. Right fielder Luke Rowley gives chase a little bit and watches it go into the trees. So 1-2 count now on Braden Hudson. Huddy trying to see what he can do about coming up with an RBI number 8 on the season. The Vikings with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Curveball, he hangs up, holds off just enough. Did not go. They appealed it, said no. So 2-2 now on Braden Hudson. The Vikings cleanup hitter, the catcher. Neal comes set. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that ends the inning. So for Pacelli, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base after 1 inning. We are scoreless here at Diamond Field. You're watching Vikings baseball on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live.
Get ready to smile because it's Truck Month at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Take your pick of over 40 brand new Chevrolet Silverados, discounted up to $14,000 off while they last. New Chevy Equinox, the compact SUV featuring high-tech options, discounted up to $5,000.
All right, back here at Diamond Field for the top of the second inning, the scoreless contest between the Pacelli Vikings and the Brookstone Cougars. Leading things off for Brookstone, Charles Briscoe, the third baseman, who was in the batter's box when a caught stealing ended the top of the first. First pitch from Billy Smith, ball 1. Briscoe hitting .321 this season with 10 runs batted in. Briscoe 0 for 3 on Tuesday in the first meeting between the two teams. Fastball inside, just a bit inside. So 2-0 count. Smith with the wind. 2-0 pitch, driven to right field, and it goes over the head of second baseman Cam Carino for a base hit. The flare was just good enough, just enough to clear the infield. So a base hit for Charles Briscoe to lead off
16,
the top
Will
of the second
Turner.
inning. That brings up second baseman Will Turner. Turner this season hitting .394 with 10 runs batted in. He scored 8 runs. He's hit 3 triples. Turner was 3 for 3 on Tuesday, scored a run in Brookstone's 5-0 victory. First pitch from Billy Smith. Turner, swing and a miss, strike 1. Breaking ball outside, he went after it. 0-1 count here. Nobody out in the top of the second inning. Runner on first for the Cougars after that flare hit over second. A 1 pitch. Outside in the dirt. Ball 1. 1-1 count. on Will Turner. Smith checking the runner. Goes set. 1-1 pitch. Oh, over to first instead. Briscoe dove in. Dustin Sherman put the tag on him just pro forma. All right. Do we see the 1-1 pitch? We do. Fastball high. Snap throw to first by Braden Hudson. Briscoe slides back in safely. So it's a 2-1 count now on second baseman Will Turner. Smith checking the runner. Comes set. Here's that 2-1 pitch. Fastball a little bit high. 3-1 now. Three-one count here in the top of the second. Pacelli looking to get an out here. Keep it from turning into something. Smith's pitch. A little bit high. Ball 4. And time is called. And head coach Casey Rassman trotting out to talk to Billy Smith to settle him down a little bit. Whole infield coming in as they discuss things. Smith, so far this season, Smith had troubles in the first inning, his first 3 starts. He would give up multiple runs and then settle down and do a great job. Today, the first inning went really well. Got the first 2 hitters. An error kind of opened the door, but some defense and they caught stealing at home, getting him out of the inning without any damage. Smith looks in, gets the sign, comes set, and here's that 1-0 pitch. A little bit outside. Oh, close, but not quite. So 2-0 now. The sun is down. The wind is starting to pick up just a little bit, and when the wind's blowing now, it's a little bit chilly, to say the least. Smith comes set. 2-0 pitch. Nope, he steps off the mound. Looks the runner back to second. Charles Briscoe's on second. Will Turner on first. I'm glad I brought an extra jacket. That's all I can tell you. I'll just leave it at that. 2-0 pitch from Smith. Fastball. Shot. Foul. Toward the dugout, toward the Brookstone dugout. Glanced off the screen, went screaming down the side. Makes it count 2-1. Jones looking in for the sign. Here's your 2-1 pitch. In the dirt, outside, ball 3. Hopped up, knocked down by Braden Hudson, keep anything from happening there. So 3-1 count, it's a hitter's count now. Nobody out here. 2 runners on for the Cougars here in the top of the second inning of this scoreless contest. There's a big pitch here. And everybody, batter steps out. Smith and Hudson were taking their time on this one. Smith gets the sign from Hudson, goes into the stretch. Here's your 3-1 pitch. Swung, fouled off to the right side, out of play. And that brings the count full now. 3-2 here. Smith trying to get at least 1 out on the board here. Maybe get a roll and get a 2. Hudson passes along the sign. Smith stepping off the rubber. Resets. Give the sign once again. Here we go. 3-2 pitch to Gray Jones. And Smith steps off the rubber again. Looks the runner back. Being very careful, trying to make sure Briscoe doesn't get too much of a lead off second base. One more time, Smith in the stretch. 3-2 pitch. Nubbed foul to the right side, out of play, or not out of play, it rolling to the screen. The count remains 3-2. Pacelli looking to get an out again and keep this thing from developing anymore with runners on first and second with nobody out here in the second in a scoreless contest in a game that promises to be a pitcher's duel. Every pitch matters at this point. Into the infield quickly. Ball gets away from Velos at shortstop, but it's a long single. So the bases are now loaded. It was over Dannison's head. He played it perfectly. The runners had to hold up because they weren't sure if Austin was going to be able to come up with it. Off the fence for a single, but that's it. Well played, getting the ball back into the infield. But still, it's bases loaded, nobody out. We've got a pinch runner,
10, Ben Ivy.
Kite Wilson, going in to run for Gray Jones. Wilson's basically their designated runner, a courtesy runner. He scored 3 runs on the year already. All right, bases juiced with Ben Ivy stepping up. Ivy, the designated hitter, swings and misses for strike 1. Ivy is 1 for 2 on the season. He has seen very little action, but 1 for 2 with a run batted in. Up in a key situation. Here's a 0-1 pitch. Fastball, strike 2. He could not catch up to the fastball there. So Billy Smith got off to an 0-2 count on Ivy. He's pitching out of the stretch here with the bases loaded. Nobody out here in the top of the second inning. He started his windup, and Paul Kite calls a balk. He started the windup and then hesitated, and that's a balk. And so the run comes home. Ouch. So the Cougars with the run on the board here now. Runners on second and third with nobody out. Ben Ivy at the plate. Smith steps off the mound, kind of gathers himself. All right, gets set to deliver the 0-2 pitch. Now pitching out of the stretch. Infield's pulled in. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So he strikes out Ivy on 3 pitches for the first out of the inning. And that will bring up left fielder Chan-Woo Kim.
Now batting, number 15, Chan-Woo Kim.
Kim 0 for 2 on the season. He has not seen much time at the plate. He's seen most of his action on the mound. Kim is 5-1 on the season in his 6 starts. A solid left-handed pitcher. Now playing left field. Here's first pitch to Kim. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Smith bringing a fastball there. 0-1 count. Runners on second and third. 1 out here in the inning. 1 run in already for the Cougars to make it a 1-0 contest here in the top of the second. Smith comes set. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Smith just reared it back. So, here comes the 0-2 pitch from Billy Smith. Nubbed foul. It bounced up and caught Kim in the leg while he was in the batter's box, so it's a foul ball. So, count remains 0-2. The Vikings trying to get out of this inning without any more damage done. They got 2 more outs to get. Smith comes set, 0-2 pitch. A little bit high outside, ball 1. Kim, by the way, the number 9 hitter for the Cougars. The 1-2 pitch from Smith. Inside, ball 2. So it's 2-2 count now on Chan-Woo Kim. 2 runners on. 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Brookstone with a 1-0 lead. Kim setting up and crowding the plate. Two-two delivery. A little bit high, 3-2. Smith trying to keep from loading the bases back up again with the top of the order coming up. Braden Hudson gives him the sign. Smith goes into the stretch. 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4, so he walks Kim, and the bases are now once again loaded here with 1 out. In the top of the second, that bring up Mercer Hudson. And time is called. Head coach Casey Rasmus walking out to the mound. That's the second. Is that the second trip that inning? It is, and that will be it for Billy Smith. Time to call to the bullpen. And it is Nathan Boatner getting the call. The junior left-hander coming in to take over for Billy Smith, who pitched great in the first inning but got in a little bit of trouble in the second. Got a little shaken, balked in a run. He leaves with the bases juiced and 1 out. So we will be back here at Diamond Field after this pitching change. You're watching Vikings baseball on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
No payments until summertime. Choose from over 500 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way. GlennSmith.com. Get ready to smile.
Get your grills out this summer with Pepsi, the official beverage of Grills Night.
All right, back at Diamond Field here in the top of the second inning. Pitching change for the Vikings. Nathan Boatner taking over on the mound. This is his third appearance on the year. Boatner coming in with a record of 0-1, a 2.00 ERA, even 2.